I had someone I was dating, and I'll tell you who it came from. I just did an article in my blog on him. Joey Amato, who's a capo regime with the Colombo family, told his girl told the girl I was dating, oh, he said that she told me that Joey told her that you're new, like within the last 5 years. My mouth hung to the floor. Like that kind of gossip between people that are in that life and women are no good. And that's what causes, it's just what happens. That's why they say washwoman, right?
Yeah.
That gets around, and eventually it's going to get to somebody. And I had heard that it got to somebody, and right now at the moment I can't mention his name, but it got to somebody in Staten Island who is secretly cooperating with the government, and that's the first time the government has heard my name comes from this person. Where do you think that guy got it? From a woman. And this is why it's so bad. So it goes to what you were saying, that as far as keeping things the way it is meant to be and the way it was created, right? This was created to be a secret society, right? And it's the people who don't want to keep it secret and want people to know outside of that life who we are or who they are is what ruins it. And an example of that is Big John. Yes. And I could go on and give you 10 podcasts on him, but just to give you a quick example, there were times, number one is I tried over and over again to tell him not to have us meet at that cigar lounge. Why? You're giving the government and the FBI a treasure trove of information and photographs of us by us meeting there, right? Because those photographs, just like the wakes, and I was an advocate against going to wakes, which the Gambinos, because now you have the other side, which is the Sicilian faction, practice that to this day. They stopped going to wakes. And the reason being is they're not only getting surveillance pictures. What else is the government getting? Structure. They're able to tell from the pictures and watching who's pulling up with who is showing respect to who's going over to who. They're showing structure. They're able to form and get an idea of structure from pictures. So we're doing damage to ourselves. Back to John.
Yeah.
There was a Halloween party, and we're in the strip mall that the cigar lounge is in, is a restaurant called Zio Toto, right? And it's a Gambino-related restaurant. But we stood in there the most because our place was right there. And he had told me, oh, you got to come back tomorrow night. They're having a Halloween party, a lot of broads. They used to kid around and call me Bait. Not my nickname, because I would, and I'm not, again, trying to pat myself on the back. Anybody that's listening that knew this knows this, that when I would come, a lot of women would come over. He used to say, come on, Bait, we gotta get you over here. So I was shocked, because when I did go, and he said, you gotta come, and I went the next night. Where do you think John put his tables? Where I thought, first of all, we shouldn't have been there, but what would have been appropriate would have been in the back of the restaurant, right? He put the tables right in front of the bar that was 4 deep at the bar, and it had to be about 60, 70 people in front of that bar to put us on display as we're the wise guys here. And a lot of guys like that kind of attention, and it does. Yes, you have guys coming over. There were so many drinks being brought to us, we couldn't even keep up a drink with them. Obviously, we had to turn drinks away. But the women, because that, in Staten Island, and no knock to the Staten Island women, I'm not trying to categorize all of them, but a lot of them are into that kind of lifestyle and into these type of guys, and they love it. And so yes, we were like on display, but I felt uncomfortable. And I don't know about it. I can't speak for any of the other guys in the crew, but I just don't think that we should have been out there like that. And that's just an example of, showing civilians, as we called anybody outside of that life, they use the term sucker, and they would call a working man a sucker. I never used that term because I never considered somebody who gets up and puts